Greetings everyone again. I'm coming back with another video. I wanted to just make another video because I want to really do a shout out to Shane, is it Gibbs? Shane Gibbs, targeted individual. Thank you Shane for your video highlighting my channel. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And to everybody out there who's subscribing, and you know, we got like a little thing going on now, and it's like almost my prayer is out of the mud grows the lotus flower, you know, out of something that's really horrible. People will unite regardless of color of skin, regardless of religion, you know, just behind the truth, because what's happening to us is so evil, and unless we show up and be present, it's just going to go on forever and ever and ever, you know. So big shout out to Shane, as I said, borderline me, to you, and to obviously Brian Harvey. Big up Brian Harvey, for you really poured this on, Brian. So much love to you, much love to you for just basically having the courage to just make that video where you just spoke to everybody's heart, you know. You spoke to everybody's heart. That first video that you made where you just said, I've had enough, you know. I mean, you spoke to everybody, all of us who are going through the same thing. We all resonated, you know, and those are the people that are not going through it but have researched Pizzagate and researched Pedogate and researched all the things. People have been watching me for years, who've been watching this. You spoke to their hearts, you know. And, you know, I just pray that the people in the entertainment industry will recognize that the time has come for us to bring about change. You know, the time has come to stop this, because we don't have to live that way. We don't have to live that way. People don't have to be upholding evil, because that's what you're doing. You're upholding evil, and that's what I'm sick of. Now, I'm also going to have to give a shout out to ISSACKAPPY, who seems to be getting a lot of flack saying that he's a psyop or whatever. I've never heard of you, Isaac, before, but what I can say is that you mentioned a few things that I know to be fact, in terms of when you mentioned about Mark Thompson and the BBC and Jimmy Savile. That's the same network that's involved in the targeting that's going on in the UK. It's the same satanic network. It's the same satanic network which is behind Murdoch and the whole Seven Gate crime ring. So when you mentioned Brian Thompson being in the BBC and then moving to New York Times, I thought, hold on a minute, he's telling the truth. That's a fact. But you didn't mention that he was in Channel 4. I mentioned that in my previous video, but that's really important, because what people have to understand is that they move from one network to another network to another network to spread their crime ring. Like Helen Alexander was in BBC. She moved to Scottish media groups, which folded and became Scottish TV when I won my case against them. And then Scottish TV are part of ITV. They're part of Grampian, Granada, which is all over all the regional areas nationwide in the UK, and obviously they're international as well, because when you look at BBC, you've got BBC Worldwide. So it's a massive network of criminals who are doing evil, wicked things to people on a mass scale. So anybody who thinks that the whole targeting thing, or you know, the gang stalking thing is hoax, and mainstream media crimes is a hoax, that's rubbish. It's factual. 15 years I've been living with hardcore gang stalking. I mean hardcore break-ins every other week or whatever. You know, we're talking about false flags. We're talking about using my name to do false flags. We're talking horror stories. Horror like you can't believe. So, you know, to ISSACKAPPY and all those people who are saying, I don't know, I mean, I never heard of you, Isaac, before. So, to me, as far as I'm concerned, it really doesn't matter you know, what side of the fence you're on. I feel you feel like an honest person to me, like you're telling the truth, because I'm looking at the facts as somebody who knows 1,000,000,000% that it's real. So, you know, I can only, you know, stand up and say absolutely it's true. Look at my evidence, look at my previous videos. I won a court case where I sued 10 corrupt corporations and criminals inside the mainstream media, and I won. And ever since that time, they've had a vendetta against me because they want to keep up their slave trafficking operation, stealing intellectual property. That's why we have to question all of these people who die in the mainstream media, all these artists that die suddenly in the mainstream media, and then it's some bogus story, you know, like what happened with Prince. They said, oh, he had the flu and he died of the flu. Everybody knew that was bullshit. Do you know what I mean? You know, if you listen to Daryl Brown, James Brown's son, and you hear what happened to James Brown, they said he was in having dental work or something minor, and next thing you know, he was dead. You know, I mean, I recommend that you go and type in Daryl Brown and look at that story. But I want to just flag up a couple of things for you to see quickly before I sign up. I'm not going to make this video too long this time. I'll keep it short and sweet so that everybody can share. And I really love that everybody's sharing each other's videos and everybody's mentioning each other's name. If you mention my name and I come across your video, I will definitely give you a shout out. You know, much love to all of you, you know, really and truly, because this is how we're going to change things. You know, if you guys can put up the hashtag as well, no more abuse, or another hashtag, I'll follow you. I'm starting to put in hashtag survivor stories, or SRA, satanic ritual abuse survivor story, because that's what it is. Where us who are targeted, it's satanic ritualistic abuse, because it's Satanists that are doing it to us. So, you know, most people think that satanic ritual abuse is just about, you know, sexual abuse. It isn't. The abuse covers all kinds of abuse. We're talking about false flag abuse. We're talking about gang stalking abuse. We're talking about gaslighting. It's all satanic. All of it is satanic. Okay? So let's not get that twisted. So let's keep it 100. Let's keep the energy going, because there's something beautiful happening. People are starting to, you know, recognize that we only have each other. As far as I'm concerned, that media and that industry is finished. It's finished. It's not fit for purpose. Most of the scripts are stolen. Okay, look at Sophia Stewart, is the person who created The Matrix. They stole her script and they've put her through a nightmare as well for the last 15 or whatever it is years. So it's a lot of us. So our targeting is all different. There's different types of people and being targeted for different reasons, but it's all textbook, as Shane rightly said in your video where you're updating about Brian Harvey. You know, it was a very good video. The only thing that I would say is that you got to remember that the whole Muslim thing, they've created a Muslim problem in order to conceal that it's Satanists behind it on the higher echelons. So they're creating a Muslim problem in the UK to make it look like it's Muslims that are perpetrators, but that's not the case at all. Muslims are as much the victims as most of us. You know, I'm not saying that all Muslims are saints, but I tell you for nothing, they had a whole lot, I don't know if it was 15, but they had a whole load of Muslim guys outside of my house just before 7/7 bombings. They got a whole lot of Muslim guys. Maybe they thought they were going to be in an acting role, and they were told to stand outside of my house. I was approaching my door from the other side of the street. Then all of a sudden I saw all these Muslims congregating outside my house. This is just before 7/7. And that was designed to set it up, to make it look like I was part of some Muslim something. Okay? So that's the kind of thing that they do. Now, it's possible that the Muslim guys will pay to stand outside of my house so that they would capture it on camera and then feed it to the public to make it look like there was something going on that wasn't going on. You see? And that's part of the reason why I went into hiding, because when I started to see the moves they were playing, I thought they're trying to set me up. I didn't even know what was going to transpired in the way it did. But the next thing I knew, they shot the guy 7 times in the head who had the same name as my family, John Charles Menendez. Okay? Innocent man. Now, we're talking about some deadly, wicked, criminal people that will stop at nothing. They will go as far as they can go. They don't care whose life they destroy. And we've got to send the message to these people somehow that we're not having it anymore. Don't treat people how you don't want to be treated. You know, we've never done anything. I've never done anything to these people. They owe me a public apology. They've got all my work, creaming off the money of all my work for 15 years. And they've stolen everything to make sure that I remain in a state of poverty, in a state of unrest, in a state of... I've been literally under siege by these people. So when Brian Harvey speaks, he's telling the truth. I've heard only a little bit of ISSACKAPPY. Somebody on my comments, thank you for whoever it was that wrote on my comment to check him out. I've checked out a few of his videos, and I see that there's a lot of backlash against him. Now, this is what they do. That's standard. But I don't know Isaac. I've never heard of him. With Brian Harvey, all of us know he's 17 and I'm in that same industry. So I know what he's talking about is fact. You know, when he's talking about Millie Dahlia, you've got the 7/7 bombings victims that were hacked. I'm one of them that were hacked. Okay, so I can connect the dots to lead me to Brian Harvey. And then when Brian Harvey said that they sent Tanzan Allen recently as a lawyer to manage his case, that's the same woman in my case. So I can see definite links between Brian's case and my case. How was with ISSACKAPPY, you know, I'm not in the acting side of things. Never have been, never will be. Have no desire to go in that industry. I personally think that whole industry should be shut down. And we should start again with new bosses, new people in there, and create a new paradigm where people are treated with respect. Everybody's paid for their labor. People are credited when they create a piece of work that is mass loved in the public, like my work and Sophia's work, The Matrix. How many people of you know The Matrix, but you don't know that Sophia Stewart was the creator of that work? You know, that's awful. Can you imagine? You created a great piece of work that opened the eyes of so many people, and you've never been, you're getting persecuted because you want to be acknowledged for your work. It's wrong. So we need a new paradigm. We need a new media which has got a completely different philosophy than these monsters. We need different people that respect people, that love people, that care about other people, because these ones, they hate people. They have us in contempt. So I want to show you 2 other things before we sign out. Yeah, the first thing is for ISSACKAPPY. This is for the people that are following ISSACKAPPY. Now you can type, I want to go into, okay, I need to just come out of here for a second and go into sharing the page. So bear with me. Okay, as I was saying, I wanted to show you some more evidence. I can't even remember whether I was showing you evidence of so much of it. So I was just explaining, basically, you know, you've been had. You've been had. The reality is that there is the whole Muslim issue is being engineered from the highest level. It's been engineered to make it look like these Muslims are, you know, going out and doing all this stuff. This is the most surveillance country in the world. Okay? It's impossible for anybody to carry out any form of crime in this country without being caught on some camera, even if you're in your own home. You know, they're watching people on the toilet right now. That's how it is. That's how surveillance the UK is. Nobody can't set nothing up in this country without being caught on camera. So anything that you're seeing is by design. And you have to recognize that, you know. Don't fall for the okie doke. That's what's going on right now. So what I want to show you is some things. As I said, it's all about evidence. It's not about what I think. It's not about what my opinion is. It's not about what anybody's opinion is. It's all about the facts. What are the facts? Okay, so when we have people going out and fighting to try to, you know, fight this Muslim situation, we have to understand who the enemy is. Because the enemy always make themselves look like they're somebody else. Back in the day, they used to do that to the Christians. If you go into, there's a movie called Quo Vadis. Quo Vadis. Q-U-O-V-A-D-I-S. Quo Vadis. And at the time, they had a psychopath called Nero, who was engineering to destroy his own people. He was setting up fires and false flags, and he'd blame it on the Christians. There's even a Muslim called Last Kiss Goodnight. And it called, you know, when they were going to do the attack on the trade center, they said, oh, we're going to blame it on the Muslims. If you type in blame it on the Muslims, naturally, in the movie Last Kiss Goodnight, and you'll see they tell you that they're going to blame their crimes on the Muslim community, you know. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people, they create this Hegelian dialectic situation, problem, reaction, solution. Then everybody's looking over there for the bad guys, but they're not realizing the bad guys are over in the media. That's where ISIS is. I'm telling you, that's a fact. You might not believe me. You go on to and you type in Jihad John, and you're going to see Jihad John is standing in front of a green screen. That's what they've got going on. They're fooling the people. They got you people bamboozled with a load of lies. And I feel bad. When I was in hiding during 7/7 bombings, I wrote to all the mosques to tell them what was going on. I wrote to City of London Police. I wrote to Scotland Yard. I wrote to everybody. And I told them exactly what was going on. But as one person, who's going to believe one little woman? Who's going to believe? But the truth always comes out in the end. And that's why it's coming out now. You know, thank God for Alfred Weber when he helped me. So, you know, I think what we're doing is fantastic. Shout out to Shane again, and also everybody at TITV. Everybody subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to, obviously, everybody subscribe to Brian Harvey. Subscribe to Borderland, me, and Wiz Solutions. I think I said your name wrong on the last video. I'm so sorry. I apologize. But thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's sharing the videos. And we're showing that we care about each other. We care about the world we live in. We don't want to live in a satanic nightmare. We don't want it anymore. Anyway, so let me get to it. I want to get a bit of tissue because I'm so hot here. I'm in front of the lights and I just feel like, oh my gosh. So I'm going to get a bit of tissue quickly and come back and then show you some more evidence. So give me 2 minutes. Well, it won't be 2 minutes for you. I'm going to run off and switch it back on again. Okay. I hope the other bit that I've just filmed a minute ago is still there. I think it is continuing from where I was before. Anyway, yeah, they're basically, they're playing everybody. They're playing everybody, so everybody attacks each other. And then but while everybody's attacking each other, they're sitting in luxury restaurants, wining and dining and having a laugh at our expense. This is the kind of people that we're living in the world with. And they've stolen so much money. They've stolen trillions and trillions of pounds. If you watch my video, Mediagate, mainstream staging false flags. I can't even remember the name. It's somewhere here. In fact, I'm going to show you some of it in a minute. But if you watch that and you go to, I think it's probably the middle of the video, you'll see what is really going on, because they show you that where all the riches are coming from, and it's all Branson, it's all Virgin, because that's what they're doing. They've stolen all the money. So NTL became Virgin Media. A lot of them changed their identity, they changed their names, so they went underground and they took over Rupert Murdoch's empire, yeah? And that's why behind the hacking scandal, you'll see the same faces come up again and again. Behind Grenfell Tower, it's the same lawyers come up again and again. So they create the situation, they create the crimes, then they send in their lawyers to mop it up, to gag it, to block it, to make sure nobody tells the truth anywhere. And all the people's families, like in my family, most of my family have not been made aware of anything. You'd never think that my family is as big as it is. It's a huge family, okay? Now, only 2 relatives, the son of my aunt and her brother. All the other brothers and sisters have been excommunicated deliberately to make sure, because they obviously know that my cousin Ronnie and we know what's really going on. So they've done a divide and conquer situation so that we don't get to come forward to tell the truth, because they know we know what's really going on. So they're doing everything they can to keep us in the background. That's why you'll see all my YouTube videos. I'm probably one of the few channels where you see the video numbers going down. You see the numbers are thousands one day, then you go back and it's like 10. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've seen my videos with numbers literally going down. And there's channels like Before It's News. As soon as they realize that I'm putting out the truth, before you know it, like the first day I'll get something like 5,000 views straight away because of the title. Then when I go back the next day, it's gone down to 2,000. Then it's gone down to 200. Then it's like something like 11 views. That's how they're doing it. They're reverse. So it's even different from shadow banning. It's reducing, because what they don't want is they don't want it to go viral. That's why when other people mention my channel and other people put these videos onto their channel and pump it out that way, it makes it difficult for this truth to be shut down. Because what they're doing, they're keeping me in a situation of surveillance. They're keeping me in a situation whereby they're trying to keep me terrorized. I don't do terror. They don't terrorize me. They've done evil fucking things, but they still don't terrorize me. Okay? You can't terrorize me. Alright? You think that you're going to go around and do what you're doing and I'm going to be sitting in a state of fear? You must be joking. I will use every ounce of my being to expose what is going on, to liberate as many people from your wickedness as possible. Because it has to come to an end. Everybody can feel it. Anybody can feel it right now. That's what those blood moons are about. It's time, people. It's time. How many more people are you going to let them kill? It has to end. Has to end. So anyway, let me see how I can share the video. Sorry, I want to share some of the evidence. I'm not sure how to do it. I think you just have to cut it off and come back. Okay, I'm cutting it off again and I'm coming back with the screen share. Okay. Okay. Let me shut that down. Yeah. Okay. So I've put in the search female pedogate operatives in high places. Some of you who already switched on will have already seen this. But basically, what you're talking about is there are women in key positions that are now, they're the pedogate operatives. So the woman, Helen Alexander, she's on this list. Somebody sent this list to me. I wasn't aware of it before. But some time back, they sent this list to me and said, 7, the people in the woman, the main woman in your case is in this. And I was like, wow, oh my God. And she's number 89. That's why she's gone underground and she's now pretending to be dead. But when you go on to this list, you're going to see key women in all different positions, from the head Prime Minister in the UK, she's on this list. Also, the head of the police, Cassandra Dick, she's on this list as well. And you need to just read it for yourself and share it. You know, I'm not sure, I think there are, I'm not sure how many names in this list, but so basically what you're talking about is, this is showing the links between Pedogate and also Pizzagate, 7 Gate, and all the gates that there is. So basically this list, and this list was compiled, I believe, by Abel Danger. And Abel Danger is an excellent researcher as well. And he has a channel on YouTube. You should check that channel out as well. Because his sister, who I think is number 1 on the list, Christine Marcy McConnell, which is his name, Field McConnell his name is, and she's number 1 on the list as far as Pedogate operatives. But anyway, if you go through this list, you'll be staggered. I'm going to leave the link below, but you'll see how many people, females, that I call them she-devils, that are on this list. But anyway, I'm not going to go through all of it, but I want to show you number 89, and they're all part of the satanic, all part of the whole satanic agenda, because that's what the New World Order is all about. The New World Order is about bringing Satanism into the mainstream and being able to murder, kill, and do whatever they like to whoever they like without impunity. That's what the New World Order is, as many of you already know. I know that a lot of you are already switched on, but obviously we're going to share these videos there, so there's a lot of people who may come across this who might be shocked to realize that people that they have elected for in power are part of something that is extremely sinister and extremely dangerous and evil beyond words. So anyway, I want to just show you that, and this is also for you, ISSACKAPPY, because you can use this for people. Oh right, so you've got the phony inquests re deaths of John Charles D. Menendez. So this is obviously, who's this person that they're talking about? Who's this person that they're talking about? I don't know who this person is. Wow. See, they're referencing me without even realizing it, because John Charles Menendez was shot to give me a warning to keep my mouth shut. You know, so it's interesting. I'm looking at a lot of this stuff. I mean, a lot of it makes me so sick I can't even stomach it. I can't stomach it. You see these people and they look normal, and they're not normal at all. These people are so evil, it's unbelievable. Anyway, I'm trying to get to number 89. The one I want to get to is 89, because she is the one who stole my documents, as I've been screaming from the rooftops for the longest time. Helen Alexander. Okay, so she became the 7th Dame for the Economist Group after she stole my documents. There she is. Here you go. This witch. Now, this witch has got pretending to be dead. You might have heard something about Evil Alexa. They're talking about her. Okay, program Evil Alexa. It's this woman here. Okay, so let's look at this. She is Matrix 5 principal, alleged sponsor of lesbian and or pedophile man-in-the-middle extortionist of Thomson Reuters and its LIBOR banking cartel, associated private equity groups. She was appointed a Reuters trustee in 2011. This is all the strength of stealing my intellectual property and selling it all around the world with her criminals. She's involved in the Bilderbergs. She's right up on the top of the Bilderberg group as well. She's chairman of UBM plc, Port of London Authority, Incisive Media. She's deputy chairman of eShore Group Holdings. She's a non-executive director of Rolls-Royce Company. Now, you might remember that the shareholders were being fleeced recently, along with the shareholders of EE, which is a company stolen from me. They stole the name from me. Okay, so she is a senior advisor to Bain Capital, allegedly arranged for Mitt Romney's profits to be hidden in tax shelters up by Sidley Austin in the Cayman Islands. She was president of the Federation of British Industry until June 2011. She's chancellor of the University of Southampton. She's associated with Mitt Attacks through World Wide Web Foundation, the Grand Palais in Paris, SEB Business School in Oxford, St. Paul's Girls' School. She was chief executive of the Economist Group until 2008, having joined the company in 1985. That's a lie. She was in the BBC before. When she allegedly began working with Barack Obama's Rainbow Coalition in Chicago on the development of leveraged LIBOR lease to finance the demolition of the Twin Towers. This woman that is involved in my group, she is at the top of the deep state. That's why she's gone underground. Because with this information that I'm giving you, we'll topple it overnight. So, ISSACKAPPY, if you're listening, I'm giving you this. Have a look at it. See if there's anybody you know. I don't know about Steven Spielberg and all these people. I just know about the ones in my case, and I only speak facts. I speak about what I know, what I can produce evidence on. Other than that, I don't open my mouth. If you've got facts, or any of these people, you know them, have a look at it. Now, this is another thing on here. Even Theresa May's on this list. Even she's on this book. She's number 92. And I mean, this is what we're up against, people. This is what we're up against, and people are going on there going to these people for inquiries about Grenfell Tower and 7/7. Look at what this is, the latest. This was produced yesterday on when was it? 6th of August. So okay, so after 12 o'clock here, so it's the 9th. So, but anyway, a few days ago, this man, James Monder, he's talking about this story, which you need to see. It says British Prime Minister she's starting to say that the paedophiles should be allowed to adopt children. And not letting them adopt children is a breach of their human rights. Are you listening to that? This is what we're up against, people. This is what we're up against. And you want to tell me about Muslims? It's at the highest levels. This is what we're up against. I sent them the Grenfell Tower report. Do you think they're going to do anything? Of course, they buried it. They buried it. And that's where this is going to stay unless you people start waking up and realizing what we're dealing with here. They want every one of us killed. They want everyone. That's a fact. That is a fact. So let me show you one more thing. Let me see how much time have we got. Haven't got a lot of time, but I'm going to go to this. Okay, what do I want to go to again? Let me see what I want to go to. I want to go to the Farrell report to show you some more bits on there so that you understand the magnitude of what I'm trying to bring to you. You know, because we've got to turn this around. We have no choice. They're trying to kill us. Okay? You need to understand that. You need to understand that. You need to overstand that. Okay. So check this out now. They had all these Muslims here as the terrorists, but these are all people that were framed. They most probably would have got these people to do an acting role. They thought they were going to do it because it's media. They might put an advert out to do an acting role. The next thing you know, they're being framed for something they didn't do. Now, this is Tony Farrell's report again. So, now I want to show you. This is my family name, John Charles. Okay? And then this guy got shot in the head 7 times. That was to send a message to shut your mouth. That's why they did it. Okay? So then obviously they stole my medical records, as everybody has been informed about already. This here, document here, is when I don't know if I showed it to you last time or not, but this is his own handwriting, where he's changing the judge's orders to make sure to try to get rid of my case. Because obviously I won, and he actually had the staff. When I was coming into the courts, they instructed the staff, whenever I come in, they said, keep fucking her around. If she comes in, keep fucking her around. That's what they told the staff. And I was standing in the counter of the West Green building in Thomas More Chancery Division of the Royal Courts of Justice. And I heard the staff telling the other staff member that they didn't know that I was standing there listening when they were saying this. This is what they're doing. They've instructed the people inside the courts to keep messing the victims around. That's me outside the courts. Okay, so then they produce a fraudulent order, which is based on, it says there's no shorthand notes for this court order. The reason there's no shorthand notes, because it's fabricated. All court orders come from the stenographer, because the stenographer is in the courtroom at the time of the hearing. And that's why I went after the courtroom audios rather than getting the transcript. Because quite often what happens is they doctor everything. So anyway, that was just a little something that I wanted to show you, just off the Farrell report, because that's quite important for you to recognize that the Muslims are being framed. I'm not saying all Muslims are innocent, but I'm telling you 100%. The pedophiles and who's funding it is listed on this list here. I never created this list. This list is done by people like Phil McCollum and other people who have family members in this filth. So all of you who are watching this who think that it's a Muslim problem, you need to think again. You need to think, because while you're looking in that direction, they're moving in laws to make sure that they can do what this woman is trying to do now, to make sure that pedophiles can actually adopt anybody's children they want to. Okay, they're moving everybody's rights. They're taking away everybody's rights because people are looking in the wrong direction. Now, for my video, you can actually go to Mediagate, and then you're going to see a lot of information on this video. Look at this one. This is a video I did about a year or 2 years ago. And the last time I looked at it was about 3,000, 4,000 views. Now it says 144 views. That's an example of how they're putting the hashtags and putting the videos down. Because they're frightened of me going viral. Because once it goes viral, we're talking about these companies being shut down. So, okay, I'm going to show you the guilty people who are part of this crime ring. And I need you to research how many false flags have the number 7 in it, or the name Charlie, or Charlie Hebdo, or Charles. Just look how many false flags has the name Charlie, or Charles, or 7. You'll be amazed. Okay? Go to Seven Sisters. You can go to, that was a false flag. There was Charleston in America. Or was it Charleston? Was it a church? Anyway, have a look. Just, okay, I'm going to show you this now. Basically, this is the people that are in the 7-Gate crime ring, but the 7-Gate crime ring is also people that are on the Pedogate list that I just showed you. And they are the deep state. So we're talking about the higher upper echelons of this crime ring, because some of the operatives, there are levels, so it's a pyramid structure, and there are a few people at the very, very top of this pyramid who are engineering all the crimes, and there are people at the lower tiers that are carrying out the crimes. And some of the people that are carrying out the crimes no doubt have been compromised in some way, blackmail, compromise. There's extortion going on, which this same woman, Helen Alexander, as you've seen from the list, she's well known to be doing that. And obviously we're talking about all the networks that are involved. I would say that the whole thing is being run from the UK, but internationally. I would say that from what I've experienced and what I've seen personally, you know, as I said before, everybody has a different piece of the puzzle. And so, you know, I have my piece and that's what I'm sharing. And I encourage everybody, if you've got a piece of the puzzle, bring it forward. Bring what has happened to you forward, because it has to be all of our voices in order to change this. And so I'm encouraging everybody, you know, please embed it into videos of Strictly Come Dancing and all my shows, so that the people who are watching my shows get to understand what's happening. Also, we want to reach out to the people who are in the industry in one way or another, because, you know, we need them on board. We need the artists on board. You know, a lot of these artists are scared for their life. They must be. You know, I don't believe that everybody that is in the industry is evil. I don't. I believe some people have been compromised, and some people, yeah, granted, some people probably are evil and they completely have given over to evil. But there are those who are involved in this who are compromised, so they keep their silence, because it's an industry of secrets. The currency in this industry is all about secrets. They have secrets on people, and they know, people know that because it's the media can put out all this stuff about them, and before you know it, their career is finished and people are going to be witch hunted. So we need to encourage people. As I said on my previous video, there are prayers to break satanic oaths. If you look online, to break Masonic and satanic oaths, you can say those prayers. Keep saying them until you feel that you're liberated, and then step forward and tell your truth. You know, that's how it's going to have to be, you know. And those who are spiritually minded, who understand about energy, who understand about strongholds, prayer strongholds, to break strongholds, we encourage prayer circles for this as well, because that's so important. We need people to be coming out. Thank you for the subscriber that just subscribed. I'm going to try and get as many of you as possible and be subscribing to your channels. I'm going to spend a day doing that and answering your comments and stuff, and dedicate some time to do that. But the reality is, right about now, everybody's targeted. If you're not in that crime ring, if you're not a Satanist or a Luciferian, or in the billionaire club, Billionaire Boys Club, BBC, if you don't understand what's going on and you're not part of that, you are on the target list. You're on the target list. It doesn't matter what country you're in, you are on that target list. We are just the people who was targeted first, and so we have the ability to come forward with evidence, those of us who've got evidence. There's some people who don't have evidence but are just as valid in terms of their testimony, so we encourage you to come forward as well. I know it's difficult, it's hard, especially when evil things are happening to you on a daily basis. It's draining, it's exhausting, it's frustrating, it's debilitating, it's annoying, it angers you, but somehow we've got to harness all that energy and turn it into something positive. That's how we got to roll from this point forward. So, you know, all of you who are on board, big up to all of you. I'm with you 100%, 2 billion%. We're in it. It's all for one and one for all. So let me kick this now. I want to show you this. So you probably have no sound, but it doesn't matter. At least you can see some names. So I'm going to turn the sound off so that you can hear. So we got Russell's Media Law Firm. So Tony English changed his name to David English. He's on the video by Professor George Lees, which is on this video. If you go to the section of Professor George Lees, it will be a black screen and it will have red and white writing where you can see I've flagged up that it's Professor George Lees who has been exposing this as well, because many people have been exposing it that don't know each other, and what's happened is that people are sending me information, so I get to realize, okay, this person's exposing them as well, and this person, because as time has gone on over the years, more and more people have begun to see that these people are criminals. So this man here, he's the one who headhunted me to go to the meeting to meet Helen Alexander, and the email that I flagged up to you in the previous video, this is the man, Richard Hanna. He's done public death threats to me on radio, talking about how he should have killed me before and this, that and the other. But unfortunately for him, I'm not somebody that scares easily. You know, I've done nothing to this man. This man could tell you himself, she's actually done nothing to me. I just feel that I should be able to rob her and terrorize her. That's where he's at, you know. So we got to send light to these people as well, because obviously they're living in a state of confusion, in a state of darkness, in a state of negativity, in a state of evil. So we need as much people sending energy to these people as possible, so that they can also come forward and say, you know what, we do recognize what we've done is wrong, because this cannot continue. It has to shut down now. That's what the end game should be for everybody. The focus, your intention should be shut it down. Okay, so this is Richard Hanna. Okay, so we're talking about Virgin Media. Now, anybody who knows about Virgin Media, they've taken over the NHS in the UK, and now we have people dying in corridors, in hospitals. Doctors are being not given jobs. You know, it's basically we have a nightmare on our hands. So again, this Helen Alexander, she's now pretending to be dead. So it's got all her information there. Okay, this is James Manson. He's at the airport here, faking a false flag. And you got to understand, they're playing the left-right paradigm. They're playing the black-white paradigm. They're playing the Muslim paradigm. They're trying to get everybody to be against each other, so that nobody can recognize that these are the people that are all of our enemies. So you got to put all of those things to one side and focus on who the real enemy is, because as long as you're fighting each other as far as color is concerned and all of these things, we're never going to get to the real problem. This is the root of the problem. Let's focus on the root of the problem in order to clean it up. Okay, so let's keep going. So this is Scottish media groups would change their name after I won the case against them, and you'll see there's a lot of Muslims. They're saying 5 in custody for terrorist attacks, all Muslims being named, but the reality is it's these same people who are engineering it themselves. So I've got given you, this is proof, this is hardcore facts of what is going on. So Tamsin Allen, as I told you in the previous video, they recently, Brian, when I had a conversation with Brian called me a few days ago, and he told me that somebody gave him the name. I'm not sure if he wants me to name the person that gave him the name or not, so I'm not going to do that. I leave it up to him if he wants to name the person who forwarded this woman. But that was them setting him up. That was them setting it up. These are the people at the root of all the people that are coming forward and setting people up. These are the people at the very root of it, I guarantee you. So this is Jeffrey Beinman. And Jeffrey Beinman and Beinman and Partners, you'll notice that all of these people become knighted, they become damed, they get titles. He's now honorable. He's not an honorable man. This man is not an honorable man at all. This man is an evil, wicked man. Send light to this man, because they hate light. They like to live in the darkness so that their evil can continue. So you send light to this man and send light to all of these people. Make prayers about them so that they recognize that the evil that they've done to us, that they can't do it anymore. We have to transcend this and take it to a higher level. We have to take it to come from the highest level of consciousness in order to deal with this. So send light to this man so that this man recognizes himself when he looks in the mirror. What have I done? What have I done to all of these people who have done nothing to me? Just so that I can have money, so that I can have a title next to my name. It's all bogus. It's all bogus bullshit, because the power comes from within. The ultimate power is within. It's not because you've got a network of friends that are going around terrorizing people that you are powerful. No, that's not the real power. The real power is when the people stand up, powerful in your own right, empowered. You know that you have a right to be on planet Earth at this time. Okay? So that's where the power is. So let me keep going. So you can see that they stage in terrorism is on their website. Again, this is another monster. Send light to this monster. That's his law firm, Ronald Fletcher and Co. Then we've got Charles Russell, who sent me death threats when I started my case. This is the lawyer that they sent in the courts, who corrupt all my crime files, who corrupted the courts, who organized to remove the case from the courts. He probably organized for the judge to be dead as well. So, okay, so then this is another form that moved into the City of London, because this is where it's all kicking off, from the City of London. They've moved from, they were in Fetter Lane, and now they moved to the City of London. So, Goodman Derrick. So let's expose them. So that's the thing, that's the hustle, which BBC based, because there's this whole game going on with this crime ring, that they're so well known within the industry of what they're doing that they actually immortalize them in a TV show, because the crimes that they're getting away with are so outrageous that they had the audacity to make a show about them just to mock people. Okay, Undercover London. Is London killing you? They're putting it in your face. This is a actual license they have, which they're charging people, that people are paying for licenses in order to target people, and so that they have immunity from prosecution. So that's what they're doing. And this is all the places where slavery is going on. So anyway, I'm not going to put more. This is the slavery. They're slaving up my race of people, and they're basically all what you see in Libya, that's going on in Libya, all the slave trading. It's all of this crime ring that is behind it. It's been run from this country, as also obviously in America. But anyway, there you have it. So let me just move on to something else I want to show you before this cuts out, because I don't know if I'll get time. This is basically, if you look at this part of it, it shows you about the hacking, and they're blocking all my shows from coming out. If you look at this section, it tells you how they're hacking, okay? These are two of my machines. They show you how they're hacking and what they're doing to steal everything I do. Just forward it quickly. Let's see. I showed you on my other machine. They exploit your computer. If you listen to it, you'll hear what he's saying. That's one computer. And so then there's another computer of mine. It's going to cut out any second. Okay, this is just the last thing I'm going to show you today. Again, this is my actual computers. I did show you in the first video so that you could see the extent of it, because obviously I can't show you how many hacks that they have on my computer. But I just want you to take a look and see that they have a whole operation around me personally, and I'm just one of the victims. Can you imagine if there were millions of us around the world and how much money is involved in this game? It's staggering how much money. We're talking about gazillions of pounds. Gazillions of pounds. They've fleeced countries. That's why they're able to compromise people in every country, because they've got so much money. They can pay people left, right and center all over the world to keep us targeted from here to eternity. So this is why we got to transcend this whole situation and understand who the enemy is, so that you can understand that it's only by people uniting and actually getting behind the truth. If we remove people out of it and we just get behind the truth, anybody who's bringing out the truth, people who have got evidence, people who have got sound testimonies, because you'll find with some people's testimonies, it will ring true, even though they might not be able to prove it. Obviously, we want people to be able to gather evidence as much as possible, but some people might not be able to prove it in the way that some of us can, because a lot of us have been doing this for a long time. And obviously we've been dealing with the judiciary as well. So we have a lot of evidence, you know, especially when you're dealing with your life being in danger and your family's life being in danger and all the rest of it, you know. So you got to make sure that there's no holes anywhere. And that's why I have a mountain of evidence, and that's why they have a vendetta to keep me silent. That's why they shut down my Facebook. They'll shut down all my social media. If I have any social media, they'll keep pumping the views down to make sure that nobody pays attention to what I'm saying. So I'm really, really happy because of Brian Harvey. Do you see that? Alexa, 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 Alexa. It's the same witch who is hacking my machines, and she's hacking your machines. Okay, tapping my phone, looking for things to sell. This is what she's doing. Okay, so you need to understand who the real enemy is. You need to understand the techniques that they're using. You'll see here that they're using fraud tools. You know, I want to show you where it says fraud tool, fraud tool. You'll see it, and it's staggering. We're talking about thousands of fraud tools being put onto my computer. It's a whole factory. There's a whole factory just around me. Can you imagine that there are thousands, millions of targeted people this is happening to? Okay? And they will kill you because you don't want them to do this. You don't want them to be stealing all your work, all your labor. This is all my labor. This is all my love. This is my life. They're stealing it, and they've been stealing it for the last 15 years to finance what is the most evil, corrupt crime ring in the history of humanity. You see, and this is what you have to understand is going on. And what they do, they've got their Illuminati artists where they steal the work from me, and they'll give it to these artists, and then the public will buy it thinking, oh, I really like that new concept or whatever it is. And they don't know that it's coming from the likes of me and people like me. And then that is funding them to carry out false flag. It's funding them to corrupt people, compromise people, to do extortion. This is how they're getting their economic power. Okay, and this is what we have to bring to the forefront to understand. That's why they went after Prince, because his catalogue was worth billions of pounds. All right, so we have to understand what's going on. If you think that you're in the industry and they're not going to come after you, eventually you're wrong. If you think that you're safe because you've taken some form of an oath and they're going to protect you because you're doing the evil too, no, they'll come after you at some point or another. You know, they'll hold you like a slave to that oath. And somehow we got to break the cycle. So I'm suggesting, obviously, you know, if other people have got other ideas, put your ideas in the comments so that people can read them. But I believe the way forward is for those people who have taken oaths to start saying the prayers to break the oaths. Just type in prayers to break Masonic or Satanic oaths. So all of those will be undone. So you can liberate yourself, spiritually liberate yourself from this. You know, I know a lot of you are in pain as well. There's a lot of people that have been doing things that are against their own nature, doing things to children, doing things to innocents, doing crimes to all different types of people. And it's against your nature. But, you know that you can break it. Come forward. Whatever position in life you are in, come forward. Support this man, ISSACKAPPY. Support Brian Harvey. Support Shane Gibbs. Support TITV. Support Ramola's channel, which is Ramola D Reports, where she's exposing about targeted individuals. There's many people out there. There's also Deborah Tavares, who's bringing out a lot of information in terms of the technology that they're using to do weaponry, because a lot of the earthquakes that we're seeing and hurricanes that they're seeing, they're not real. They're being done with this HARP weaponry. So I'm going to sign off here, people. I thought I'd leave you with some of this information because you need to understand the scale of it around me, which is why it's as evil as it is around me, because there's trillions of pounds involved in my case. Trillions and trillions of pounds. And that is why they're trying to keep me silent, and they've been trying to murder me and for the longest time, you know. So what I'm saying is that we have to rise higher than this. We have to deal with it spiritually. We need prayers. We need 24-hour prayers. If you're Christian, if you're Muslim, whoever you are, if you believe in the Most High God sincerely, and your intention is to liberate humanity, to free humanity, if your intention is for pure loving reasons, send forth your prayers to around all of us. Because all of us, everybody's in danger right now, because as much as this comes out and as they get exposed, their knee-jerk reaction is to trigger off burning places down and doing all kinds of evil false flags. So we need to send light to them so that it somehow sends the signal to them to make them realize it has to stop. They themselves have to recognize that it has to stop. Okay, so this is what we have to do. Keep sharing the videos. Please subscribe to the channels. Let's keep this going. Let's move it. And obviously Brian Harvey's case is on the 24th. His court case is on the 24th of this month. My court case is coming up soon, so I would appreciate the support to people to come to my court case as well. I'll update you with dates of that as well. And obviously anybody who wants to do injunctions, you know, we can try to help each other. Let's try to help each other forward of using the law system, with everybody piling into the courtrooms saying that we've had enough. As I said, the hashtags, hashtag Mediagate, hashtag no more abuse, no more evil, shut down the crime rings, the media crime rings. Whatever hashtag, you know, you put some hashtags that you want me to follow, and I'll put them in my videos as well. I'll put them in the tag boxes. I'll tweet them out. So let me know as well. Much love to you all. Stay safe and keep pumping the truth. Don't stop until we shut this shit down. Okay? Sending love to everybody. I just wanted to make a quick mention as well, because I noticed on my other video, I actually had done a special shout out to Borderline Me and also Wiz Solutions, as well as Shane, and I can't see it there. So I think when I cut the video to insert the footage that I filmed of the building that was burnt down, it must have overlapped it slightly, and I didn't realize when I went to record the full thing. So apologies, but I really want to send a special shout out to Borderline Me. Thank you for mentioning me in your videos. I really appreciate it. And also Wiz Solutions, who is really, you know, doing an amazing job. He's putting all the videos about Brian into one channel so you can get it. And so, because it benefits everybody, you know, everybody who wants to see the end of the mainstream media, the crimes of the mainstream media and the entertainment industry and the music industry. It helps if, you know, everybody does their bit like everybody is doing, you know. So I'm so grateful. You know, you can go on to Wiz Solutions and just see updates that way. And also Shane Gibbs, who's a targeted individual from TITV. You know, don't forget to subscribe to these channels as well. Thank you so much, Shane. I watched your video, really appreciated it. I did mention it. I don't know if it's going to be there, so I'm tagging this on to the end in case it disappears again, because I did it in the video I just loaded, and I just watched it and it's not there, so I don't know what happened. So just in case it's not there, I'm actually making a little video, a few minutes long, just to shout out to everybody who is sharing my videos and everybody else's videos, because it's a beautiful movement that we've got going. So let's keep it going. And yeah, let's just keep the positive energy. You know, if you've got negativity, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in your negativity. We want change. We don't want people being murdered anymore. We don't want people being terrorized. We don't want that anymore. Sorry. So, you know, you can scoot along with your negativity. Please don't bring it to me. I've had quite enough of it. Unless you haven't been watching my videos. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I've had enough negativity to last me a lifetime. Don't want it anymore. So please don't put it on my channel. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Goodbye. So to everybody else, much love and peace and positivity and blessings to everybody. God is with us. Trust that. Just, you know, start blasting the videos everywhere. And I will get to the comments and I'll try to, you know, make sure that I subscribe to all your channels as well. Okay? Bye everybody. Speak to you again soon.